So Jeff, you were born in Rwanda and then you went on to a Tanzania refugee camp. Can you talk a little bit about your experience there?
As a male, even though I was 9 years old, I had a big responsibility, and for about 7 years in a refugee camp, and that's the only life I remember, being a goat herder and a big brother, a son who was taking care of his family just based on survival. My chores were to fetch water, to travel miles on foot, go get dry wood so we can use it to cook, and if we didn't have dry wood, we wouldn't eat.
So you went from pretty much being a shepherd, and then when you got the news that you were coming to America, you probably didn't really understand that back then. So tell me, how did it hit you when you first landed in the United States?
Wow. So 7 years went by. We start to see people get submitted to come to these places. They put names on the board at a station where people in the refugee camp will come, and they will try and search for their names to see if they got submitted. And so I was the first one to find out. Finally, the day to come to America came, and we got ready. And Mama went and bought a few clothes, like we didn't have a lot. So, and then when we got here, complete culture shock.
And what is one thing you feel like it's often misunderstood about the refugee experience that you want people to know?
A refugee is not someone who just comes out here illegally and make trouble like what everybody's talking about. It's somebody who wants to better their lives.
I know you've overcame so much. You made it here to America, and you also pursued college, and you've also earned your bachelor's degree in social work. So I know you're helping a lot, giving back to the kids and the youth. So can you tell me a little bit about your experience in college and then eventually starting JTS Fitness?
Yes. So I connected a lot with who I was as a kid growing up. And I remember selling beignets in the refugee camp, trying to survive and make some change so I can bring home, literally to my family. So I tapped into that, and I was like, okay. And I have this huge passion for fitness. I know that I've helped one kid at a time, and all those kids that came to JTS Fitness and Faith have gotten everything that they've ever wanted to get as athletes and as student athletes and as people in our society. So
you mentioned faith. I know faith is a big part of your ministry. I know you kind of came from Denver, and then I believe Nebraska, and now Phoenix. And I know you've had your ups and downs, and more recently, maybe like 2 years ago, you were in a motorcycle accident.
That's right.
So I read in the article that you said it was life-changing for you.
Yes, it was.
So can you take me through how was it life-changing for you?
Wow. What completely changed me is that I saw my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. The third night in the hospital, I was about to give up. I was about to, is this it? Because of how excruciating the pain in my legs were. I couldn't feel my legs. I didn't know that I was ever going to have my legs again. My left leg was on the verge of being amputated, but the hope came at night, and they're like, we can save your leg, but it's going to take a very long time.
So even in the midst of such a dark situation, it turned around for your good. You found faith, you found peace, you found love in God, and also a love connection.
That's right.
And you're soon to be getting married this fall. Can you tell me about how you found love?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. Shortly after the ICU room, I went back into the trauma room before the rehab center, and one of my friends that I used to work with, his name is Dion, went back home and he convinced his mom, his sister, to come pray for me. And the sister, which is now, my fiance, about to get married in November, she just came out there to help one of my sisters that was there, because I didn't have family here. They all back in Denver, Colorado.
You've survived so much, and coming from Tanzania, and now America, and now the motorcycle accident, and finding love, finding God. And so my final question is to you. It's what's next for Jeff?
Wow, what's next? As you can see, life can just, in a short amount of time, life can just whoop, and not know what can happen next. What's next for me is, I'm going to get married in November with my beautiful fiance Marissa Fowler, and after that, we'll see what God has after that. But I want to fully go into my ministry, which is to help continuously build JTS Fitness and Faith.